Welcome back, and to shed more light on the voting process of the Egyptian expats in the first phase of the parliamentary elections, which took place on Friday and on Saturday. We are very much delighted to have with us our prominent guest, Dr. Reem Essam, Professor of Economy at Graceland University, the United States. A very good morning to you, Dr. Reem.
Good morning to you, Mom, and good morning to Egyptian people.
Well, I don't know if this is good morning for you or no. I know that there's such a big difference. What time is it now?
In the morning. It's 1:15 by local time.
Oh, okay. Well, Dr. Reem, of course you have been following up all the procedures which took place in the past 2 days, and the Egyptians voting abroad, the Egyptian expats voting in the first phase of the parliamentary elections Egypt 2025 in the past 2 days. Before going into details, tell me more about your impression. How have you seen the process itself?
Of course, absolutely. These elections is one of the prominent elections that Egyptian people is witnessing. Normally, Egyptian people go to vote for three significant type of elections. One for Senate, which was before 1 month ago, and also this one for Parliament, and of course the presidential level, the election for selecting the president. So Parliament election is one of the significant elections and one of the most important elections for each Egyptian citizen, that they understand the importance for this kind of election and their role in shaping the Parliament and the political situation and political map for Egypt. We have to here in diaspora, or we are as expats living abroad, we understand our role to contribute to the political life in Egypt. Yes, we are not in the homeland of Egypt, but we are affecting indirect or by direct way. So we need to vote in this parliament election because it's reshaping our life as people who living abroad. Not because we are not in the home, but we have connection, we have roots, we have families, and also we have long-term planned investments, remittances. So it's very crucial for each one who is living abroad to participate in such election of the Parliament Egyptian in 2025.
Well, Dr. Reem, many Egyptians thought that what you have just said is only among the age category 40 plus, 50 plus, but I mean the young generations who were born outside Egypt are not that much interested in doing so. But what we have seen and what we have witnessed ourselves from the lines which flooded, the lines which were there in front of our embassies and consulates all over the world, is saying that whatever the age category is, the Egyptian is an Egyptian, even if they were born abroad. They still have this bond and this kind of connection with the motherland, with the homeland, and they are keen to practice this constitutional right and to share in building the future of Egypt. How do you see this? And if you please, if you witnessed that yourself, elaborate.
Absolutely. We need to understand that it doesn't matter or it doesn't relate to the age frame. Now we are in the Gen Z generation. So let's recall the most recent event in the world. Electing the mayor of New York City, the Gen Z generation who voted for him, who bring him for the seat. So we need to understand that the age barrier doesn't reflect any significance now in political map or in political scene. Gen Z plays a significant role in reshaping the political map. So it's not about the age, it's not about where we born, it's about always how we are understand our role to contribute to the political life.
Yeah.
So yes, there are a lot of Egyptian people who was born outside the homeland of Egypt, but the increasing awareness for these generations that we need to understand, that we need to attract them, to find a common ground, to talk with them with their language. So we need to talk with them with the social media application language, the TikTok, the social media, all these kind of language we need to reach for them. So I didn't consider the age as a barrier. Yes, they are, most of them were born outside Egypt, the homeland, but they understand their rights. They understand their responsibility, and they understand their role to contribute
Simply voting is
political map. Yes.
Dr. Reem, voting or sharing in this operation or in the electoral process, it's a duty and a right in the same time. And I think they are on equal foot. I mean, it's equally a right and a duty. But what I wanted to focus on here, if you permit me, the timing of the voting process came just days after the official inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museums, where the Egyptians, whether inside or outside Egypt, felt this kind of pride that they are Egyptians watching the whole world, and all eyes are directed to Egypt and to what's going on in Egypt, with hundreds of dignitaries coming from all over the world to witness this very important, vital, stunning moment of the official inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Do you see the connection? Do you see that this choice of timing was very smart to do it just days after the inauguration of the gym? If you please elaborate.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Now, as an Egyptian abroad, we feel all the proud. Let me go a step back more than the opening ceremony of the Egyptian Grand Egyptian Museum. Before 1 month, Egypt hosts the Peace Summit in the Peace City, Sharm el-Sheikh. It was co-chaired by Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Mr. President Donald Trump. So Egypt has a leading role in the region in the peace agreement between the Palestinian people and the Israeli people. After that, all the people, all around the world were watching and witnessing the signing of this peace agreement. After that, all the people from all the world, they were watching the great ceremony of opening the Grand Egyptian Museum. After that, by not only a couple of weeks or less than 1 week, it was November 1st, today November 8th or November 9th. So we are going to do the election process for the parliament. One of the significant election processes that Egyptian people go out to the voting boxes and they vote. So now the Egyptian image in the international level is really at the most best time of the Egyptian, reflecting the reality of the inside. Because sometimes we just hear back and forth that there is some conflicting inside, or Egypt maybe it's not safe. We observed that how highest and very high level of political level they were moving, they were jogging in the Egypt streets by Nile River. So Egypt is safe. Egypt has the leading power in the Middle East, region.
Yeah.
And also the Egyptian people have a very high level of awareness about their political rights and political responsibilities. They will go to the voting boxes and they vote for their candidates that they believe this candidate has the agenda that he wants or she wants to the best for her district or his district or her community, because the parliament candidate is responsible about his district, about his community, or even his tribe. So when I go to the election box and I vote, I think we complete the triangle. We are by the leading peace summit in between the two conflicting parties, by opening the Grand Egyptian Museum, and by going to the voting box here outside Egypt for Egyptian people who is living outside in diaspora, or people who are expats outside, and also after that we are going to do it inside for the Egyptian citizens inside. So
Yeah.
by these three factors or these three events, I believe the triangle about the Egypt image outside in the international level is completed.
Yes. Dr. Reem, in exclusive statements by His Excellency Ambassador Bassam Radi, the Egyptian ambassador to Italy, to one of our radio stations here in Egypt, he said that the accumulative experience was one of the most important factors behind the success of our diplomatic missions to make the voting process that smooth and that quick, and having this technical support from the NEA or the National Elections Authority here, this made the voting process even easier. How do you see this implemented on the ground? How do you see this practically? And how do you see the Egyptian diplomats all over the world exerting the utmost efforts for the sake of turning this voting process into stories of success in 117 countries?
Absolutely. The National Election Authority is doing a great job, not only on the local aspects, but also outside with the, as you mentioned, more than 117 countries. But let me bring the attention for our audience that it doesn't mean that only 117 spots for the voting. No, we're talking about 117 countries. Each country has more than embassy and consulate. So the National Election Authority is playing a crucial role in making this election process success by providing the voting criteria, by providing the eligibility criteria for the Egyptian citizens who are eligible to vote in these elections, and also by announcing the date of election for the first round, the date of election for the second round, the names of the spots of the elections. We know that it's not only about the embassy, it's about the consulate. Like, for example, in U.S., we have 5 consulates, one in New York, in Houston, in Chicago, in Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles, California. So 5 spots in the United States. So it's a huge effort for the National Election Authority. And let me tell you that it's not only about these authorities. We are collaborating in international level with the Foreign Affairs Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as the consulate and the embassies all over the world. We are working together to make this process smooth and easy for each Egyptian citizen.
And to draw this very civilized, wonderful image of Egyptian expats all over the world, how they are very much keen to go, to share, to participate, and our diplomats to make it that easy and that smooth. Well, one final question, Dr. Reem. You as an expat, what are the most important demands do you have for the coming parliament?
Of course, there is some list of expectation, because we are now in a level, in international level. So I'm expecting from this parliament for more women representatives, because now we are in 2025. Yes, let me recall the constitutional amendment in 2020. We raised the women representation to 25%. I'm expecting the increase of women representation as a woman in the Egyptian parliament. Why women? Because women always leading the agenda of women, like, for example, the gender diversification, like also domestic violence against gender, like civil rights. There is a lot of women concerns, and there is a lot of women files. We working on them, but we still need to keep working on them. So we achieved a lot under the leadership of Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and we are expecting more from the next parliament about living abroad, about expats. I'm expecting that increase the Egyptian representation in the outside and all over the world. They are doing we feel home. When we go to the Egyptian embassy, you just feel home. There is no any barrier, or you just feel home, just walk in and you just feel home. I'm expecting to increase the women representation, increase the women agenda, which is already there, but I just want more.
Well, Dr. Reem Essam, Professor of Economy, Graceland University, the United States, thank you very much for your input and have a very good day. Well, right after the short break, we are going to turn back with more. Stay tuned.